The International Skating Union, the ISU, planned to make changes to figure skating for the 2027-28 season after the next Olympic cycle from 2026. So these changes haven't been confirmed yet, and they're only openly talking about it, restructuring figure skating. This is because the sport has gotten a lot of confusion about judging, as it is an artistic sport and there can be a lot of bias involved with human factor contribution. The technical side is somewhat neutral as they have cameras and they can replay footage and instant scoring, given out to make this seen and fair for the audience. However, confusion has continued to happen because scoring for component elements are inflated. Certain skaters that are more well known or favorites seem to be always protected by placing higher than what they should be, or if they make mistakes, they seem to get minor deductions compared to maybe less known skaters who would be majorly deducted. So the ISU plan to take action around this to be more transparent and honest with the audience. The sport also seems to get a lot of constant fan criticism, particularly around the element of overinflated scores, skating favorites, programs not meeting expectation, the element of no surprise repetition, and fans criticize this format and are left unhappy. Now figure skating is a niche sport, not a lot of media coverage on it. It seems that the podium placement can always be predicted. Only the same certain countries compete, so the IOC need to make changes in order to retain these fans to continue supporting, watching and investing into figure skating. A major factor that pushes for change is the imbalance of technical difficulty in artistry. Figure skating is an artistic sport, and this is very hard to judge because even though technical difficulty can be objectively judged, there's a right or wrong, but artistically, it's complex because it's opinion-based. However, in the past years, artistry has always overweighed the technical side of it because skating wasn't as difficult, it was simple elements, and often it was much more of the storytelling, musicality, and it was the essential to win or place on the podium. Now in figure skating, it's more about the complex, more difficulty, including harder elements. So now definitely there is an imbalance in how to judge because there are two arguments, whether that artistry should overweigh the technical side or vice versa. It's hard because if they focus on difficult elements, then artistry would lose its value and it would just be a competition for who can do harder, riskier elements instead of clean artistic performances. These changes are to bring a more global media attention to the sport, attract more fans, make the sport more dynamic, interesting to watch for viewers, and to make it more understood outside of its niche. One major change the ISU want to implement is the idea of separating technical and artistic programs. So they are considering introducing two separate programs for judging to be simplified. Technical programs will focus on difficulty, execution, risks, and jumps. They can jump as many jumps as you like. When skaters make a mistake, deductions will be harsher, and so this really is to make scoring clearer and reduce arguments about why someone with mistakes still wins, why artistry feels ignored. Artistic programs will focus on the skating itself, clean lines, storyline, musicality, and the quality of choreography. Jumps can still be included, but won't be a main factor that places a skater higher than the rest of the competition. The main factor will emphasize the artistic side more, so risk-taking will guarantee lower points. But another question is raised. Figure skating is an artistic sport, and the whole point why it is in the Olympics is for its difficulty in combination with artistry. The whole point of the sport is to show both sides, which is technical and artistic difficulty. If they are going to be judged separately, it risks figure skating from becoming an Olympic sport entirely. as it will contradict the idea that ballet or dance are not part of the Olympics. The main factor given is that it's too artistic and it's more of an art form than a sport, which figure skating, if judged the same, will turn out to be exactly like ballet and dance. But the point that the ISU hope to raise is to make the judging system more transparent, making results easier to explain. So I guess to avoid overinflation or underscoring. However, this also creates another problem. Subjectively, biasness does not disappear because artistry is still judged by humans. One may like the concept, another may not. Consistency of opinion across the panel is still an issue. So in terms of controversial judging, it won't be fully removed. It will just change where it happens. This new rule would significantly change training and preparation for athletes. Now it would increase the loads for skaters, as skaters will have to train 2 different types of goals and put it into their program. Athletes will be divided into 2 groups, those that focus on the technical side and those that focus on the artistry. The training camps may prioritize one over the other. Therefore, younger skaters may develop not as well-rounded as they could have been. They may have less or all or nothing pressure on jumps, particularly around quads, or more room for difficult skating styles. As of now, many countries internationally have combinations of both jumps and artistry, which makes it more exciting to watch. However, it is also the minority who can achieve the high level of skating executing both. With the change of rules, it may offer opportunities for other skaters to have a chance to compete, who currently are struggling under the current system. But it also gives a chance for skaters that have less artistry and prefer to focus on just difficulty, or alternatively prefer to show artistry on ice. So why are the ISU doing this now? Well, the 2026 Olympics, it usually always after the rules adapt or change, based on what the ISU thinks needs changing anyway. As well as, most importantly, the sport is under a lot of pressure. It's slowly declining among casual viewers, not die-hard fans, but those who look at figure skating once in a while. The interest is disappearing due to its repetitiveness and being a bit boring in the sense that it's not as interesting as it used to be. The ISU want to change the format to get people engaged, to spark excitement, and to bring more media attention to the sport. There's also constant online judging debates on overscoring and underscoring, or altogether the sport for newer viewers is too confusing to watch and to judge who's the winner and who's not. So the ISU main goal is to make skating easier to follow, to protect the sport's long-term popularity. The idea is to give figure skating not to be a niche sport, but to expand and grow more popularity. The sport can become more diverse in other countries, and they can participate more, because usually it's only the same countries like United States, Canada, Russia, Japan that are all participating and are placing. But there will be different skating styles to choose from, and it will be different, and we will see different skaters on the podium. And so it will be different to see a different kind of podium placement. Less funded skaters will have opportunities to compete for the medals. But the change may also bring more division between the types of athletes, less focus on the well-roundedness. There might be one athlete for technicality, the other one for artistry. And it may be harder to compare performances across the programs. But also, these technical and artistic programs are for the free skates. So athletes will need to complete 1 short program and 2 free programs, which means that athletes need to have more training hours, physical strain on body, and don't forget, skating is not a cheap sport. So it may be harder for less funded skaters to be able to train and perform, because it will be just extra expenses, especially if the technical program will emphasize mainly on jumps. And so that will put a lot of pressure on athletes to do as many jumps as possible and take as many risks as they can in the short amount of time that they have, which risks their health and potential injuries that can occur. To compensate, the ISU would want to shorten the programs, as it will be less strain for figure skaters in a way, which I don't really get, because if they're trying to shorten it, the skaters want to include as many elements and as many difficult jumps as they can, which doesn't allow for recovery, causes even more risks. But also for the sport to be more eye-catching and for TV broadcasting perspectives, they want a faster live stream that would be more dynamic for TV and for pacing altogether. The problem is with shortening the programs from athletes' perspective, it will mean that there would be a lot of elements included. Like I mentioned, it will increase a lot of stamina that needs working, and it will also not offer the skaters an opportunity to just breathe throughout the program, and transitions will be definitely rushed, in particular when executed unlimited number of jumps in the technical program. The 6-minute warm-up may be removed or done off camera, so the audience don't even get to see how the skaters are, in what shape, etc. If the 6-minute warm-up is removed altogether, I'm not sure how the skaters will be able to warm up their jumps or whatever. And I guess they just want to build more excitement and anticipation for the audience. The length of each program, the technical side of it is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The artistic program is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, don't forget, these are proposals, not the final confirmed rules. But the direction is clear. The ISU know the current system is not working and getting lower ratings. These changes won't affect the 2026 Olympics, but they will shape the next generation of skaters. What's being discussed now will determine how children will be trained, how careers are built, and how winners are decided. This is all done to bring figure skating more media attention, popularity, higher ratings, and overall love, increasing fans. What do you guys think about all these changes? Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree that the ISU need to implement this change? Do you not? Let me know down what you think.